Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at question 11 from chapter 3.5. This is on our homework assignment. On this one, we're asked to take this function y equals x squared plus x plus 1, which is this parabola line right here, and we're looking at the area between this graph and the x-axis, which is right here. Okay, we're going to take that area and we're going to revolve it around the line y equals 10. Okay, this is a horizontal axis, so we're going to be doing our washer method. Okay, we're also told to be doing x between 0 and 2. Okay, now this is a tricky problem because unlike other problems, right, we're taking this area here between our parabola and the x-axis, that little sliver thing, and we're rotating it around y equals 10. Okay, so we're going to have this sort of hollowed out area on the inside. So in essence, what it's going to look like is, I need to think about this in two different pieces. So here's my y equals 10. Now imagine I've got this as a solid block. Okay, and here it is sort of around the top here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to rotate it around this line y equals 10. So that's mean I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to create this solid shape as I go around the line y equals 10. I'm going to get this solid block. From here, I'm going to subtract. Here's our line y equals 10, and then here's our parabola. Let's pretend like we have in the other functions, in the other problems, where I'm taking this part here, the graph, basically the part of the graph that's between y equals 10 and our parabola, x squared plus x plus 1. I'm going to rotate this around the axis, so it's going to look like, get this solid shape here. I'm going to rotate that around here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract this solid piece here from this really large solid piece, and it's going to give me what's left over, which is the area between my parabola and the x-axis. Okay, which means I'm going to have this part here is going to be hollowed out on the inside of my overall shape. Okay, so when we go to do this, we're looking at pi r squared, and we're going to go from a to b. Okay, our a to b, this is our a, this is our b. Okay, so pi r squared. So if I'm going to be rotating around this axis right here, just going from y equals 10 to our x-axis, I'm going to rotate that around the line. I'm going to go from 0 to 2, that's my a to b, pi. My radius is just this distance here from 0 to 10, and that's dx. Okay. Now, I'm going to subtract off this bit right here. Okay, this is going to be pi. Now my radius is going to be the distance between this line, my axis that I'm revolving around, and my function itself. That's my radius. Okay, so I'm going to say 10 minus my parabola, x squared plus x plus 1. That whole thing is going to be quantity squared. Okay, this is rotating the solid block. This here is my radius. That's just basically a rectangle, okay, with a height of 10. Okay, and each little thickness, each little width is dx. Okay, now this right here, my radius is going to be 10 minus my function here. This is my parabola, x squared plus x plus 1. Okay, and don't forget to square that. So I'm going to subtract all these out and I'm going to square it. So I've got some algebra ahead of me. So let's go ahead and do this part here. This is going to look like from 0 to 2, pi times 100 dx. This is equal to just 100 pi times x from 0 to 2 minus, right? We're going to take a look at, I'll bring out the pi, 0 to 2. Okay, and then the algebra that I have to worry about after I subtract everything out and then multiply it out, I'm going to get x to the 4th plus 2x cubed minus 17x squared minus 18x plus 81 dx. Now, okay, this here, I can just do the power rule on each of these terms. So I'm going to get minus pi times 1/5 x to the 5th plus, let's see, that's x to the 4th over 4, okay, minus, let's see, whoops, 17x cubed over 3 minus 9x squared plus 81x, and I'm going to go from 0 to 2. Okay, this is going to be 2x to the 4th all over 4, so I should actually let's write this out differently, 2x to the 4th over 2. Okay, so now when I plug all these values in, okay, and I multiply it out, I'm going to get 200 pi. This is 200, this is 100 pi times 2 minus 100 pi times 0, okay, minus pi times, I'm going to plug everything in, and I get 95.06. Okay, so I'm going to get 200 pi minus 95.06 pi. That's after I plug everything in and I subtract out, plug in 2 for x, and then I subtract out plugging in 0 for x. Then I'm going to get 104.93 pi. And that gives me the volume, right? If I take this area between the parabola and the x-axis this little bit and I rotate it around the line y equals 10.